Hello, dear friends. It is Dr. Sarah, and it is the beginning of a new year when I'm recording this. So that means we are getting bombarded with goals and resolutions that we should be making, and also diet culture messages of what exactly we should be focusing on for our health, our body, and our food. So, what I want to do in this video with you is take a new perspective. I want to talk about all of the transformations and transitions that have occurred worldwide that have made it easier to be lured into social media and to social comparisons, and how that can make us get on an emotional roller coaster and even make our mental health as well as physical health suffer. So, I want to offer a new perspective about this. I want to talk about a modality that's simple, that'll calm your mind and help you tune inward to your own truth. So, some of the topics today that we're going to be discussing are how our health obsession can actually harm us, why diet culture will always leave us unsatisfied, why we need self care and stress relief to access our own inner guidance, and a summary on the importance of self nourishment, following our own truth, and nurturing ourselves. As always, all the resources, links, and studies can be found in the accompanying post to this video. So be sure to click on the link and check that out if you want to dive into more details. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to talk about tracking our way into wellness and how this can lead to a form of insanity. So, beyond the lavish parties, the fancy vacations, the images of perfect homes that we're exposed to on our feeds on a daily basis, that can lead us to various insecurities, the healthcare space itself can be contributing to our feelings of unworthiness. And this is through those echo chambers of various influencers who are advocating for health purity as well as biometric tracking. Now, seeking answers and objective data can be well intentioned and it can be even helpful for many people. But a constant focus on numbers in healthcare can actually spur some not so healthy things, such as orthorexia, healthism, and competitive tendencies. And I don't have any qualms with trackables when they're used mindfully, but they do have their downsides. And these include provoking anxiety, making one obsessed with counting, causing dependency on gadgets, over tuning into our own wisdom and inner cues, and diminishing our goals to numbers on a screen rather than achieving balanced wellness. So, at a certain point, the striving to be overly healthy can actually become pathological. And then, besides being inundated with resolutions and wellness goals, I'd be amiss to not point out the fact that a new year also brings about many promises for weight loss by diet culture. By praising thinness and perfection, diet culture, which focuses on basically advocating for a perfect body and a perfect health, keeps us on our toes and constantly striving to achieve this ideal, which is impossible for a majority of the population. That is, if we actually buy into it. So much of the issue that we're being sold is that if we eat the right diet and we get the right figure, then we'll be happy. That's what we're being sold. But what if there's flaws in that actual thing that we're getting sold? What if peace couldn't be found on our plate through an endless pursuit to carve our bodies in certain ways by what we eat or how we exercise? What if we could just accept ourselves for how we are? What if the problem was the fact that we're being sold dissatisfaction with ourselves, with our bodies, with our food, and that we keep purchasing it and getting poor results? So these are the topics that I found in a Substack article by Abby Atwood, who refers to herself as an anti-diet dietitian. She does have an MS in nutrition, and she's actually breaking free from diet culture. And she talks about how diet culture will only be satisfied when we aren't, how there's an insanity associated with a constant shift in food rules and good and bad foods. So, for example, one year carbs are in, the next year carbs are out. We focus on keto. We've been told that milk was bad for us. Now we're getting new discoveries of this C15 fatty acid molecule that can only be found in milk that many are deficient in. So milk may be making a comeback. Coffee was heralded as bad. Now it has all of these polyphenols and things that are good in it, and it can be used as a protein loading beverage before workouts, etc., etc., etc. Besides the shifting food rules, we also have the shifting beauty ideals. Strong was a new skinny, and now we have the GLP-1 drugs hitting the market, which might bring skinny back. So all of these aspects point to one thing, that there will always be a new way for us to be quite not enough. And that is by Abby Atwood. That's a direct quote. So the thing is with diet culture is we can actually choose to say no to it. We can stand up for our own truth, our own power. We can decide how we want to eat and what's healthy for us, for our body, how we take care of ourselves, and even be as bold as to be satisfied with ourselves. We don't have to pay anymore with our mental and physical health by being obsessive and constantly striving for our perfect health and the perfect weight. The price has been too high, don't you think? So we can take back control of our life and say yes to peace by saying no to diet culture. I have various articles on diet culture that you can read for more inspiration. And then another way to kind of say no to diet culture and to say yes to ourselves is to focus on self-care and true nourishment. Now, in order to see what we clearly need, first we have to take care of our basics. Think Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Our physical needs, our need for shelter, our need for other people, our need for safety. We can fulfill all of these needs by tuning into ourselves. It's pretty evident what we need for our mind, body, and soul if we stop and pause to take a look at it. And when we fully nourish ourselves at the levels of the mind, the body, and the spirit, our own cup can get full. And then we can be truly present for the moment, for ourselves, and for other people. This is why I think self-care is one of the most important gifts that you can give yourself this new year and any day throughout the years exceeding it. If we're running on empty, it's almost impossible to be available to the exquisiteness of the precious moment, to be grateful, to find joy in our lives, to achieve resilience, to create lasting change. And also, we can become more susceptible to other people's opinions. So when we calm down the stress response with healing aromas and tune inward, we can shift our lives in a way that matches our own desires. And this allows for lasting transformations because it's based on what we prioritize, not what we think we should do or external pressures. And essential oils are the perfect integrative medicine tool to help you get to this serene place because they're easily accessible. They complement other approaches. They instantly shift our mind's perception of stress so that we can support our nervous system and hormonal system and balance our mind and body and get back into our own inner truth and stay grounded. So I linked some of the resources that I posted earlier about calming our brains with essential oils for holiday stress. This holds true throughout the whole year, some of these resources, as well as throughout, especially these trying times when more of the messages that we are not enough are getting thrown at us during the new year. So if we summarize about the importance of self-care through all the seasons and removing ourselves from the fixation and obsession with our health and into true nurturing and nourishing of ourselves and what we need, we want to remember that marketing and diet culture can be disguised as wellness and can play into our insecurities. It can make us feel inadequate and like we have to live up to these unattainable standards or buy the latest trackers or we're going to be left out. But making sure we're in tune with our inner wisdoms can lead to more meaningful transformations than endless tracking with gadgets or excessively seeking for external praise through what we're eating or what we look like. And this is so important to remember because our modern world is constantly vying for our attention and telling us ways that we're not enough so that we buy into different things, different philosophies, and different products. And I think that at this point, diet culture has taken enough from us, and more people are waking up to this. We're realizing we deserve our sanity, our balanced life, and joy. And we can get this by saying no more. We can actually say that we've done enough to earn our satisfaction. And when we do this, we're less prey to diet culture messages. And if we take time to stop and smell our essential oils, we're not only enhancing our emotional and our physical resiliency, but we're also allowing our minds and bodies to realign with calmness. And this provides us with the opportunity to access our own truths. From there, we can prioritize how we want to move forward and change what we need to based on our own decisions. So I wish you a very nourishing and happy new year. And I hope that you can take this message throughout all of the rest of the year and into the next years ahead so that you can fully live your best life based on what you desire and based on your inner truths and values, not what diet culture and social media and all of those external pressures are feeding us. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you have heard, please subscribe to my channel and make sure you also subscribe to my email. You'll get additional education promotions and educational offerings not found either on YouTube or even on my website or social media. I wish you many blessings.